Tom Shalhoub. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy to see what exciting stories we're going to be discussing this evening. Andy?
Thanks, Tom. Coming up on the big show, people have started visiting therapists to deal with their Donald Trump-induced anxiety. I'm guessing you won't be shocked to find out these people live in Los Angeles, Brooklyn, and Manhattan's Upper West Side. Plus, we'll have a live report from CPAC. Well, live for us, not for you. You get it. And finally, a mini scandal erupts after college kids wear mini sombreros at a mini gathering. I hope their punishment involves being mini waterboarded. Back to you, son of perdition.
Thank you, Andy. Let's welcome our guests. She's a pink lady looking for her T-bird, Joanne Nosuchinsky. With that stash, she's either New York's skinniest cop or a 70s porn star. Comedian Nick Mullen. She swears to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Unless you're guilty, then she'll lie to keep you out of jail. Criminal defense attorney Remy Spencer. And I know his phone is turned off, but I hear the bottle calling him. Columnist at the Daily Beast, Michael Moynihan. Okay, let's start the show. Here's a new excuse to call in sick: Trump anxiety syndrome. According to the Washington Post, therapists are dealing with patients who are freaked out over the idea of a Trump presidency. Judith Schweiger-Levy, a psychologist from Manhattan, says that she's noticed an uptick in Trump references among her patients, but she seems most bothered by the fact that Trump himself would never seek out her services. Part of the reason he makes people so anxious is that he has no anxiety himself, she said. It's frightening. I'm starting to feel anxious just talking about him. Another therapist interviewed admitted she hadn't really heard about Trump anxiety from her patients, but said, "It helps me to talk about it. I'm terrified that he could win. His impulsivity, his incomplete sentences, his strange, squinty eyes. To my mind, he's a loosely held together person." Thank you, doctor. But should she be frightened? No. I had to talk down several conservative friends after the 2012 election. They couldn't believe Obama was reelected. Relax, I told them. Leaders change. Bad policies can be undone. But you know what's worse than people's fear of Trump? It's what they think of people who support him. Who are these people? One Democrat told the Washington Post. Are they at the grocery store? Are they sitting next to me at Dodger Stadium? That makes me nervous. If you're really unwilling to sit next to someone who disagrees with your politics, you really do need therapy. Moynihan, do politics keep you up at night, or are you a normal person like me?
Those are two different answers. No, I don't stay up for politics. I take lots of Xanax and I go to sleep pretty early. And I'm nothing like you. And you know, I'm nothing like these people either. And one of the things that bothers me so much about this is I love the fact that I hate Donald Trump so much. But then you go and present his other opponents to me, and then I hate them more, which is an amazing thing. Like this idea that people have anxiety over a presidential candidate, it makes Donald Trump's point for him.
Yes.
Like when he says, like, everyone's gone crazy, everybody's too PC, and the response is like, I really have to go to therapy because this guy's doing well in the New Hampshire primary. I mean, it's literally making his point for everybody.
Isn't it true, Remy? Politics makes you really passionate about people who you probably wouldn't care about. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. It's a topic that gets everybody passionate, whether you're a supporter of Trump or you're not. The issue I had with this article is they interviewed an art teacher. God bless her. She's a teacher. That's great. But she likened the Trump presidency to Nazi Germany, and how Americans were going to flee from this country if Trump was elected. I think that the melodrama and the outrage it's manufactured, and if it's not, then it's a sad representative of what today's people are saying and thinking. It's just stupid.
Isn't it a great way for our students to learn that their teacher's crazy, though?
Yes. Well, she's teaching art, so at least it's not like modern history.
Yes. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look thrilled and happy over there.
I'm sorry. I'm not aware of my face most of the time.
No, it is. So. Look, you remember when the Beatles sang, "You can't always get what you want"? Shouldn't those people take that to heart?
Yeah, I think if you have the time and resources to go to therapy over Donald Trump, then you're done with therapy. You finished. You solved all your problems.
That's it.
Quit. Go do something else. And the massage therapy, I mean, going to therapy for Donald Trump is is pretty crazy, but going to a massage therapist for it is psychotic.
Yes, that was it, part of the article that I didn't mention. They had people, the massage therapist actually said that people were talking about Donald Trump, Joanne, on the massage table. They're really obsessed.
Probably imagining his very large hands working out the kinks.
May have been it, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think? I mean, do you think it's something, I guess, if people feel anxiety, they should talk about it, shouldn't they?
Yeah, but that's the thing, and you hit that point in your monologue. The people who are feeling anxiety are just bringing more upon themselves, because it's these people who are then the ones on Facebook who are instigating those conversations where they're not listening at all, they're not being reasonable, and they're just spewing more of this anxiety, and they're forgetting that the real anxiety, the real fear is global warming.
That's true.
They
Nick,
need to remember that.
Nick's one of those guys. Do you ever, I feel like, your online presence, you sometimes put things on there to get people angry. Do you do that, Nick?
No, people just don't like me. I'm trying to be friendly and personable, and people just despise who I am.
Isn't that the way the internet is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we here at Red Eye, we're always trying to improve the show. Recently, we brought in a focus group to give us feedback. The group watched several episodes and then were asked to describe what they saw. Now, I haven't seen this yet, but guys, do we have that tape? I'm eager to hear what they had to say.
Sophomoric.
Embarrassment.
Disappointing.
Shameful.
Despicable.
Angering.
Low on substance. Disgusting.
Wow. That's just a first reaction.
Yeah, they warmed to you later.
They will warm to us as they watch the show. Okay, moving on. Who won Thursday's debate? What do you think? Let's talk about it. A Frank Luntz focus group, speaking of focus groups, overwhelmingly said John Kasich. And that view was shared by all the pundits. Look.
It was very much in favor of Rubio and Cruz. They had very strong nights.
I thought John Kasich had his best debate. I gave him a B+.
Donald Trump crushed it in the debate in Detroit.
I thought Ted Cruz had a very good night.
John Kasich.
Nobody had a disqualifying night.
According to every single poll, I won the debate by a lot.
Last night was embarrassing for the country. Victory for Hillary.
Wow, everyone agrees.
Yes.
On Friday, Trump tweeted some of those polls showing that he won. He also tweeted a Google Trends graphic revealing the most searched candidate during the debate. It was close. You see the area in red? That is Donald Trump. Not even close. Do we need a key for that? Purple was Rubio. I don't see him anywhere. Okay, Trump won Google by a landslide. Moynihan, I think most Googled means most presidential, don't you?
Obviously. I think just call it now. Let's just walk away from this and just give it to him. And everyone's Googling him. By the way, you noticed that he had just walked off stage and he's like, all the polls say I won. He's like, no, seriously, you're lying. Like, you literally, I saw you like 2 minutes ago on stage, and now you're saying all these polls that weren't even conducted, and you won.
Listen, don't tell me that seeing the future is not an attractive quality of a presidential candidate.
It's great. I think Steve Hayes is right. I think Ted Cruz won, but probably the key point is that America lost last night. That's the one thing we can all agree on.
Do you think, is that true? A lot of people said, Remy, that it was ridiculous. The debate was shallow. But aren't debates subjective? Isn't that the whole thing? We're laughing at the fact that Trump said all the polls said I won. But isn't that the way debates have been since we were kids? I remember Gerald Ford and the spin room, and everyone's always saying, oh, he won the debates. They make it up.
Yes and no, okay? Yes and no. The debate should be an opportunity for the public to get a sense of who the candidate is, how they react in high-pressured situations, and what do they stand for. And what did we hear about? Small hands and name-calling. We didn't get the benefit of any of that. I like to think that our politicians, our elected officials who are charged with protecting us and improving this country, are going to elevate the conversation, that they're going to educate the public.
So sweet.
And
isn't it nice? But don't you think, look.
No, it's a disgrace. I'm embarrassed for our country, for what the GOP has turned into, this circus, this reality show, soundbite, headline-grabbing BS.
Okay, so there was a lot of attacks. During the debate, the candidates relentlessly went at each other. Here's Trump describing Cruz.
Great guy. Everybody respects him.
Okay. Here's Trump slamming all the other candidates on the stage.
I have a lot of respect for him. I generally speaking, agree with what he said. He's really not that much of a lightweight.
See, Trump, he seems like a nice guy to me, Nick. I don't know what everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Look,
same boat.
Do debates matter? Does anything matter at all? I'm not talking about politics. Is there any meaning to the universe, Nick?
Me personally, no. This is my last week. And I'm checking out.
Okay. But what do you think about this? Do you think, like Remy is saying, she finds it ridiculous and it's an embarrassment. But if you want to read about policy, you can go to their websites.
It's an opportunity to get people to vote for you. So regardless of the tone of the debate, I mean, Trump won because whether you like it or not, it is a competition in ridiculousness. And if Kasich is the only one that's going to show up and treat it seriously, then, I mean, yeah, he looks professional, but that's not what it was. You don't bring policy to a pissing contest. And Trump was the only guy that made an affirmative statement that he was well endowed. No one else did. And that kind of is probably the most important issue.
You know, they all could have. They had ample time because he did it at the beginning of the debate, and none of them, ever went there.
It's amazing that when he said that John Kasich wasn't, or like Rubio or something, just like, I have a big penis too. Like, why would you let an opportunity like that just slide by?
Well, some of us like a little mystery. A little mystery meat.
Well, maybe none of the other ones wanted to lie.
That was my nickname in college, Little Mystery. Did you know that? Okay, look. Twitter exploded last night when Trump seemed to brag about a part of his body.
I have a very strong core.
Why is it always about the core, Joanne?
Oh, it's the center of everything. I learned that even in my stage combat classes, you need to move through the center.
Yes, it's true. Now, what was your takeaway from last night? Like, everyone obviously had a different opinion.
Yeah.
And not all of them were I think it wasn't just people cheering for their camp. People's honest analysis were that this person won, that person won. What did you think?
We need a point system. We truly do. Like gymnastics, that you know who the winner is based off of the points, technicality of, talent and all of that. So we need to have someone who's, a tabulator off stage, who you get a point if you do a good jab, or if you actually, describe a policy plan, you get more points.
They should bring in slime from Nickelodeon.
Oh, I like that.
We should slime candidates. When they answer something wrong, you give them the slime.
That's right.
I was mystified by the audience. That was like the big takeaway for me last night, because the story, like early in the day, Drudge is a story. 5 people, 10 people, 10 real Americans get tickets. It's all donors. Are those really the donors? Because it was like a wrestling match. People were shouting and screaming. It was like the most boorish behavior I've ever seen.
And they were mugging to the camera. It was awful.
The stage was pretty boorish, too.
I thought it was evenly matched for people.
It's actually just Detroit.
The last debate, I felt like there were cheering sections. You remember Rubio had that woman screaming in the front row, et cetera.
Yeah, that's right.
But I thought it was pretty fair and balanced with the crowd. Did you?
I did. I think that there were enough crazy loud people. It was like a WWE match minus the spandex, and
but let's be honest,
it seemed just as fake. There were as many punches thrown. It was all pomp and circumstance.
But weren't the moderators excellent?
Yes,
they were excellent.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, good. On Friday, Trump announced he's canceling his Saturday speech at CPAC, the annual gathering of conservative activists. The American Conservative Union, which hosts the 3-day conference, tweeted, "Very disappointed Donald Trump has decided at the last minute to drop out of CPAC. His choice sends a clear message to conservatives." The other 4 candidates are still planning to attend. Joining us now from CPAC is former U.S. Army Special Forces officer Ben Collins. Ben, can you hear me?
I certainly can hear you, Tom.
Ben, with all that's happened with Romney and the other establishment figures kind of uniting against the frontrunner, is there a sense that things are divided at CPAC?
Well, yes. I mean, I think there certainly is a sense that things are divided in CPAC, and I think that, it just goes to tell you that things are divided amongst the Republican Party, and they've been divided in the Republican Party for a long time. You've got part of the party that is lives and breathes in Washington, D.C., and then you've got everyday America, that disappearing middle class. Try to tell the town in Colorado that just lost a coal mine, that they're just angry voters. I mean, people right now are scared. So there's a real sense of that finally coming to the fore here. And I think a lot of the establishment, so to speak, candidates are having a hard time. here at CPAC, I think we've seen there's a pretty large support for Ted Cruz. We've also heard a lot of support for Rubio and Kasich during the day. And look, to be honest, I think this is a very this crowd has expressed that there's not a whole lot of Trump support here, and I think they were going to be pretty vocal about it. So look, if you're Mr. Trump, what's the upside and the downside? So do you gain anything by being here? To be honest, I think you almost lose more by being here if you've got a whole crowd that's being raucous and booing. So I think that's probably why he decided not to speak here.
Okay, Ben, stand by. Moynihan. Yeah. So Trump, obviously, he's starting to move toward the general election. Does he just not need the movement conservatives anymore?
He doesn't have them, and he doesn't need them. I mean, the booing, he's been booed during debates before. He's been booed pretty lustily during debates before, and nothing has any effect on this man. So not going is not going to have any effect. And, he's going to go to Kansas and he's going to campaign. It's the smarter decision, because those people, the Trump apparatus thinks of everybody at CPAC as, the kind of the elite conservatives, the people that are out of touch, and all hate him and are all sort of rallying around candidates that can't win. And he's right.
Yeah.
I wish he wasn't right, but he is right.
But is this an important time, Remy, to be unified? This is the time where you fight it out. The convention is a long way away. Why not have the fights now, and then they can worry about unifying in the summer?
I think that if there was a general consensus that we were dealing with a level playing field of equally matched candidates for the nomination, then maybe, but there's no unification here. They want Trump out, and they want him out. So I don't think that we're going to see anybody from the establishment sort of getting behind Donald Trump. He's not going to be looking for that, and he's not going to get it.
Well, some of them want them out, but I think there's a lot of conservatives who are saying, whoa, right, Joanne? They're like, enough of this never Trump. At some point, we're going to have to deal with this. So don't put all your eggs in whatever basket it is now.
I think CPAC is in a lot of ways like a wolf pack.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, we have to keep to the pack. We can't have Trump. But really, if you want the pack to thrive, you need a herder.
Yeah.
Who will herd your pack to safer pastures.
Is Ben still there? Ben, I want to ask you about the downtime at CPAC. What do people do there? Is there a nightlife? Do conservatives party?
Yeah, conservatives party. This is a very young. This is a very young crowd. It's a very young crowd. So look, it's like any fraternity party, but everybody's in suits and red ties and flag pins. That's how they rock it here.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Ben. Have a good time there. What's your drink down there at CPAC? Are you a Scotch man?
No, Miller Lite. Is that all right? Can I say that?
Very classy. Thanks, Ben. Coming up, peeled or unpeeled, that is the question. See why Whole Foods oranges are stirring up a whole lot of controversy. Okay, now it's time for organic food market Whole Foods is getting hammered on social media for selling pre-peeled oranges in plastic containers. The fuss over fruit started on Thursday after a customer tweeted this picture and snarked, "If only nature could find a way to cover these oranges so we didn't need to waste so much plastic on them." Her tweet went viral, over 70,000 retweets, and the angry online horde slammed Whole Foods for being environmentally irresponsible. The supermarket eventually apologized. "Definitely our mistake," they said. "These have been pulled. We hear you, and we will leave them in their natural packaging." The peel. They acted swiftly, and the problem was solved. Let's see the responses to their apology. "I'm so sorry you've decided to do that. I have rheumatoid disease, and it's often impossible to peel an orange." Wow. "Let's let Whole Foods know those pre-peeled oranges are helpful to some people with disabilities." Ouch. "We hear you, able-bodied person, and will no longer make accommodations for the disabled because of your feelings." Wow! This is like real white people problems, isn't it, Moynihan?
Yeah, it's really funny that you said it, because the woman who tweeted it, I went and found her tweet, and the second tweet after it, she had like 100 followers and was not ready for this, and she said that she had been accused of having white person problems, of making fun of the disabled, and she was getting the full social justice storm.
Yeah.
Because she made a joke about oranges.
It's amazing.
And apparently this is a huge problem of disabled people and oranges.
Well,
My recommendation: clementines. They're very easy to peel. I don't know if that's anti-ableist or something, but
it is. Those
delicious,
clementines
too.
And the ones without the seeds in them, you can just peel them and
it just falls off.
Eat them, right? Nick, look, it's going to save 2 minutes, but it's going to destroy the earth. Which is more important?
Destroying the earth, always. But it's ridiculous. You can buy any other fruit packaged like that. They sell apple slices already sliced up for you and in a plastic cup at Walgreens. It's just, this is the first time someone saw that. And then it clicked in their head, and they're like, "Well, I guess I'll be mad about this."
I think
Isn't that true?
I think the distinction is Whole Foods has, kind of held itself up to a higher standard. We're environmentally sensitive. We are organic.
Yeah, but everybody already knows that's a lie, right? Isn't that like?
Well, maybe
part of
not
the gimmick?
everybody does.
What's the reason? What do you think the reason for this is, Joanne? Why would Whole Foods do this? What do you think?
Because they have too many people employed there. They needed to give an employee something to do because they're being paid.
Yeah.
So they said, here's a project. We have some extra oranges that we want to sell. We bought too many. So let's peel them. Let's try selling them in a different way.
Why would they go, though? Why would they do that? Anyone? Does anyone know the answer? I'll tell you. Moms, they're busy. Their husbands are off working at an investment bank, and they don't have time to peel oranges. They have all these children running around, so they can just take the orange, give it to the kid, and take it off to school.
Really sexist.
That is the most sexist thing I've ever heard on television.
What are you talking about?
It could be a father at home who he doesn't have time to peel.
That too, but let's face it. We're talking about Whole Foods. It's upscale people.
Sure.
And they have money to burn.
Yeah, that orange is $22 at Whole Foods.
It's $6 a pound for the oranges. But you know what, Nick? You made an interesting point. They slice up the apples. I think if they took the oranges and they separated all the slices and they arranged them in like a staircase.
Why don't we buy blueberries like we buy grapes? Grapes come still on the thing. You could sell blueberries still on the thing, right? Everything should come on the thing. Yeah. Grapes come on a thing.
They do.
You buy it unless you're buying picked grapes already, which you're in cahoots with the Whole Foods people.
And a lot of people won't eat an orange because it does take some time to peel. Your kid's not going to take an orange just
laziness.
No, it is awful peeling an orange.
Very high-level conversation.
The citrus, if you have a cut cuticle, it hurts so bad, and the smell lingers.
Smell lingers. It turns your hands yellow. It's a disaster. Yeah. And the thing is, you can put that in your backpack and take it to school. Don't you see, Remy? Don't you want children to get vitamin C, or do you want America to have scurvy?
You can cook with the peel. You can do things with the outer protective
That's a good point. You're being
part of the.
part of
Exactly. It's like half the orange. We should be paying less for it. You know what I think? Somebody's second cousin, once removed, became a vice president that really didn't have any responsibility within the company, and this was his idea. Nobody was checking him. Nobody thought he did any work, or her, and so it was that person's idea who undermined the philosophy of Whole Foods.
Well, you're lucky your firm doesn't represent the disabled. Okay, coming up, Andy Levy gives you what you need. Halftime next. And I'm playing the Bird's Eye Lounge in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on March 12th. Go to TomShalou.com for tickets. Welcome back. It's that time again. What we got wrong, what we missed. TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye News Deck.
Tom?
Hey, Andy.
How are you?
Good.
People going to therapy because of Trump. Look, the country survived President Nixon. It'll survive President Trump. Probably.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
I think. Where's the Xanax? Moynihan?
In the green room.
All right.
You'll be okay, Andy.
Okay. Moynihan, you said you love the fact that you hate Trump so much, but then you hate the people who hate him even more.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah. So you hate me more than you hate Trump.
You just turned me around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I do actually.
okay,
But then I think that's unrelated to the whole Trump business.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's just I just generically don't like you, and I'm obviously anti-Semitic. Too.
I was going to say there's an obvious reason for that. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to admit it on TV, but
I'm sure you have before.
Oh yeah, no, I do a show. Yeah. It's in German though. Nobody knows what I'm saying.
Remy, you said the issue you had with this article about the Trump therapy is the person who likened the Trump presidency to Nazi Germany. Yeah, my issue with it is it's garbage. This is a handful of losers and not a trend, I believe.
I hope you're right, but I think we're going to see more of this nonsense.
No, you're probably right about that, too. Yeah. Nick, you said going to therapy because of Trump is crazy, but going to massage therapy because of Trump is psychotic. What if it's just for insurance purposes? What if you really want a massage, but your insurance will pay for it if you claim it's for mental health reasons? Then it's kind of genius.
That is genius. That's actually the smartest thing I've ever heard.
Thank you. Also, Nick, did you claim to be friendly and personable on Twitter?
Yes.
Have you read your tweets?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking.
I speak them into Siri, and then she handles it.
Oh, nice. All right. Debate results stuff. Moynihan, you said Trump had just walked off stage when he was saying he won all the online polls, which means he was lying. But
I think he said all the polls. Did he say all the online polls?
I think he meant but he was right.
I mean, but that's basically, he's always right, because the online polls are online polls, and
that's
the
what
people
I mean.
who vote in them are psychotic.
Right, so
and it's mostly people, it's like the Drudge poll. It's like, that doesn't mean anything,
No, I just don't think he was lying.
Oh, I didn't know he said online polls.
I also agree with you and Steve Hayes. I thought Cruz had the best night.
Yeah, he had a good night. He had a good night. He's still crazy too, but whatever.
Remy, you didn't like the tone of the debate. You said you'd like to think that the elected officials who run this country are going to elevate the conversation and educate people. How long have you been in your coma?
Why does everybody think that that's so crazy? Everybody makes fun of me when I say that.
We live in this world.
Because it's so bad right now. It's getting worse with each election cycle.
Nick, you said they should bring in slime like on Nickelodeon to the debates and slime the candidates. How would you be able to tell?
How would you? Oh, yeah, you got me.
See what I did? Moynihan, you said you thought the crowd at the debate was out of control.
Yeah.
Can I suggest that booze may have played a small role in that?
There was a online report, which I can't confirm or deny, and unfortunately you can't either, that like 10 to 15 people got thrown out of the debate because they were drunk.
Yeah.
I saw it on Twitter, and so that's probably true.
It must be. Thanks. Can I just say, I just want to say one thing. People need to stop being fooled by Kasich's above the fray act.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's a complete act. He's trying to convince people he's the adult in the room when he's not.
What is he in the
Why would you say that?
People have got to remember, Kasich is the guy who back in 1997, when he was a congressman, he rented Fargo from a Blockbuster video store. You kids can look that up.
I've seen it.
He hated the movie so much that instead of just doing what a normal person would do and saying,
Wait, that was Kasich? I remember this.
Yes. Can I finish?
Oh, yeah, no, go finish. Finish. No, go ahead.
Instead of just saying, oh, the movie's not for me, he called Blockbuster and demanded they remove it from their shelves. This is not an adult.
No, wait, that was not Kasich. Wasn't that,
No, it was Kasich.
No, that was someone else.
No, it was Kasich.
No, that was the guy with the glasses, Perry.
It absolutely was Kasich.
I also did it. I did it too. So.
Unless Rick Perry wrote Kasich's autobiography and told that story.
He said Libya went really well last night. I don't know if anyone caught that.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he was like, Libya, it's going amazing.
Oh, I missed that.
I'm buying a timeshare in Derna.
My God.
That's in Libya, by the way.
By the way, the debates are rating so well. There were 16 million viewers Thursday night. They just got picked up for a second season.
Wow.
Yeah. Moynihan, you brought up that Trump not going to CPAC was the smart move for him because they view everyone at CPAC as the elitists who aren't going to vote for him. And yeah, I agree. But wasn't it CPAC that years ago sort of got Trump started down this path?
Yeah, I think I was at that CPAC when Trump showed up, and everyone was starstruck then and didn't take him seriously, which was pretty much what everyone was thinking about 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So it really evolved.
Yeah. Joanne, you said that CPAC is like a wolf pack, and a pack needs a herder.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really herd wolves, though.
I mean, has anyone tried?
I think they have. A lot of dead people have tried.
All right. That's a shame.
Yeah. Whole Foods gets rid of pre-peeled citrus fruit. Tom, did you notice I said citrus fruit and not oranges the way you did?
Yeah.
That's because Sumo Mandarin in that picture are tangerine orange hybrids.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, those, I mean...
It changes the story completely as far as I'm concerned.
We can call those oranges, Andy.
Is anyone going to freak out about the GMO aspect of that?
Not me.
Splicing things together to make superfruit? What kind of Franken world do we live in?
It's true. People don't realize how much
people should
that's
get mad
done.
at that. I just want more people on the internet to be mad at that.
Okay. By the way, you guys brought up, I'm glad that people are talking about how getting rid of the peeled fruit is bad for disabled people, people with arthritis, etc. Let's not overlook the equally important point that it's bad for lazy people.
You're right. It's
true.
So for Americans, then.
Exactly.
Well, if they had just called it,
more to the point, me.
Shouldn't they have labeled it fruit for the disabled.
That would
have solved their problems.
If that was their
That's absolutely
response,
true.
if that was their response to that tweet that went viral, it would have shut it down right then.
And by the way, if this had never happened before, as we talked about, this is a new thing, the unpeeled orange, and everyone's mad like this, you're ruining it for the disabled. What were they doing before? I mean, these didn't exist before. What were disabled? They were just like, they were excited, I guess.
How long has it been in the store? Do they know?
It's just this week.
Okay.
I guess the disabled were not eating
Citrus.
Citrus,
Yes, yes.
So they were just excited about the possibilities.
You guys said you've never had an orange in your life.
Yeah.
It's the best moment in your life, and then someone starts a change.org
someone on
petition.
Twitter ruins
your
yeah.
lunch.
Exactly. Such a good point.
It's a poor.
Nobody would care if it wasn't Twitter. If that was that lady in that store and she goes, "Can you believe this?"
Yeah.
People would be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Just finish shopping.
Yes.
Go home. No one would care at all. It's
Nick,
just
as you
Twitter.
pointed out, you can buy other fruit pre-sliced.
Yeah.
But this woman, Natalie Gordon, she got over 70,000 retweets, and isn't that really what matters?
I think half the people thought the orange was playing Nina Simone. And that's why.
Oh, really?
And they got mad about that.
Yeah.
And they just ran with it.
Yeah.
That was at least 30,000 of those retweets.
I think it's a really good call. Remy, you said the difference is that Whole Foods holds itself up to higher standards,
Yeah.
but they themselves have the pre-sliced fruit that Nick was talking about. They have like pre-made salads, don't they?
Have you ever gone grocery shopping at a Whole Foods?
You could have just stopped after grocery shopping, and I would have said no.
I stopped going there just because of the other people who shop there. Not because it's grossly overcharged, but everybody's just so fancy, and they're so much better with their.
So many babies.
Everyone's really good looking.
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes,
Telling you,
yes.
those oranges were for the moms, Andy.
Okay, my last point before I go is I enjoyed, as I always do, your 1950s explanation for everything. And that they did this for the moms. But then, Tom, you made a fatal mistake. You said this is an upscale place, Whole Foods, for people with money.
Yeah.
People with money don't feed their kids. They have nannies to do that for them.
All right.
I'm done.
Thank you, Andy. Yep. It is time to take a break. Mini sombreros when we come back. Tiny hats, big trouble. Some students at Bowdoin College are in hot water for wearing mini sombreros to a birthday party. Yes, mini sombreros, or as Trump calls them, little Marco size. The invitation stated, "The theme is tequila, so do with that what you may." We're not saying it's a fiesta, but we're also not saying that. Oh, I wish I was still in college. Photos from the party, as you can see, were troubling. The school announced an investigation into a possible act of ethnic stereotyping. And Bowdoin's student government issued a statement of solidarity to all students, to stand by all students who were injured and affected by the tequila party. The party organizers haven't been expelled, as I would recommend, but they have been publicly shamed. I think it's the first time that tequila has ever led to regret.
First time.
Yeah. Do you ever, what do you think? Tequila, are you a tequila gal, Joanne?
I didn't used to be. I am now. It's really nice if you just do it on the rocks, though.
Yes, that's it.
Don't put all the stuff in it.
Joanne, that's what gives you the hangover.
Ill.
Yes.
It's actually because it's from the agave plant. It's one of the best liquors for you.
Yeah.
Because it's not kind of messed with.
That's what I'll be thinking the next time I'm drinking tequila. It's
Just
fantastic.
nice, and then it
for
waters
me.
down, and it's good for you.
Yeah. Nick, what's more appropriate for a tequila party than mini sombreros?
Mini sombreros. It's perfect. Unless you can get like a cactus that talks and wears sunglasses that wears a sombrero. That's
Why didn't they do that? Come on.
a
It's a
talking
good school.
cactus. I want to live in that world.
All right, look, Remy, the schools, obviously, everything's getting out of hand. They issued an apology. What students do you think were injured by the idea of a tequila party?
I think the students injured were the ones in your photograph. They're missing their faces.
Yes, look at them. That's what tequila does to you people.
The regrettable things I have done while drinking have all happened while I was drinking tequila.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure there were some injuries, but they're probably not because of the sombreros.
Now, do you think were you drinking, what are those drinks with the salt? Margaritas? Were you drinking margaritas?
No, I was just drinking tequila, as Joanne likes it.
Yeah.
Well, you were drinking the wrong kind, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, did you ever go to one of those bars, Michael, where they have where the women have the shots on their belt?
Also probably racist. I don't know why. I don't know, it's probably an Irish bar or something, and like you said, Irish drinking. I don't know.
Have you ever?
No, I've never seen that.
Where the girls have the holsters? Come on, you've been to one
I'm a
of those,
little
Joanne.
classier than that.
Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah. What is? These are real? This actually happens?
They're shot girls. They walk around.
They wear them on their midsection?
Sometimes they have.
How do they do that?
Trays.
They have Jello shooters sometimes.
They have trays of cowgirls. They have trays of shots, and they have the tequila on the hip, and they.
I'm one of those coastal elitists that don't go to bars that have Jello shooters. I mean, that's just me. I'm a different kind of guy. But this is amazing.
Fun.
I'm done with, like, do you realize that every time one of these dumb campus things comes up, there's always a sombrero? Do you know that, like, Mexican people do this themselves? Like, when you go to the subway, have you ever seen the mariachi bands? They wear sombreros. They wear sombreros.
Yes.
Like, what? They were wearing sombreros.
Well, they're
totally cool.
tiny sombreros, which is important because it's disrespectful to
The big-
sombrero,
so big
which is
one-
intentionally a giant hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I think the whole plan's genius because what you do is you make your frat party racist. That way nobody notices the drugs in the drink.
That's true. That's the way to hide it. All right, we'll close things out with a bedtime story. Coming up on the next Red Eye, Charles Cook, Kennedy, and Sam Morrell. In case you were wondering, homemade cardboard license plates are not legal. The Erie County Sheriff's Office in upstate New York had to issue that reminder to the public after pulling over a 28-year-old woman using this cardboard license plate. Looks real to me, come on. The woman, who was also driving with a suspended license and without insurance, provided police this copy of her driver's license. She looks very different from her photo. She's charged with possession of a forged instrument, driving with a suspended registration, and given a D+ in art class. Wow. Remy, would you take her case?
Well, she needs a lawyer, yes. I
Yes.
mean, if she's looking for representation and she can afford private counsel, of course. The question is, what is her defense? In this case, it might be insanity, diminished capacity, I'm not sure. But these are serious offenses. And today's day and age, I know it's a joke because it looks really silly, but a forged identification or a fake driver's license, those are felony crimes in the post 9/11 era. I mean, the law takes it very seriously. So she's in big trouble.
I think, Nick, I don't think she thought it was that bad of a crime, or else she might have just gotten fake plates instead of drawing one up like a cartoon.
I think it's the perfect crime because what do they make you do in jail? Make license plates. So there's no punishment for her.
It's true. She's just going to be able to make herself a plate.
Right.
Michael, my mother did this actually.
What?
My mother did this. Yeah, she got her plates damaged, and she got a piece of wood out and she painted on the plate. We had it for about a year.
Is that real?
I'm serious. Yeah, we did it.
Tom, get out the painted plates.
But she did it right. We were
She's
never
from
caught.
Massachusetts, by
We
the way,
were
just
never
so-
caught.
You're never caught. Yeah, the stadies in Mass a little different. But I love about this. It shows like nobody has printers anymore because you could just like print one and like nobody would see it from far away. But I love the kind of hand lettering. And it reminded me of a long time ago because I'm super old. We made in Massachusetts. We made a big board.
Yeah.
ID. Do you remember? Did you ever do this? And you stood in front of it.
Oh yeah.
And take a picture of it and you cut it. And it was like painted, but the painting was like a lot better than that.
Those were the days.
Yeah, like a good artist.
You could go into a local bodega and stand in front of the painting.
Yeah,
Joanne,
exactly.
This woman's obviously not too bright, right? Let's give her a break.
No, I think she's pretty bright. She didn't do it. She's not the one who painted that. That's her defense. She's not the one who made it. She has a younger sibling, or she babysits, and that was craft time to kind of get them to sit quiet for a bit. So she's, killing a few birds and her future with one stone.
She's helping the youth. Fantastic. Very special thanks to Joanne Nosuchinsky, Nick Mullen, Remy Spencer, and Michael Moynihan. That does it for me. I'm Tom Shalhoub, and I'll see you next time. What do you think of that, guys?
Good evening. Welcome to Wall
Washington, I'm Brett Baer. Republican leaders are going after GOP frontrunner Donald Trump after last night's debate with new vigor and urgency tonight. One day after that primetime debate featuring name-calling, mockery, and at least one get-the-kids-out-of-the-room moment, Trump is spurning conservatives, pulling out of a scheduled speech at their huge annual gathering in suburban Washington. He is also flipping positions on another big issue, but here is a Fox News alert we're just receiving. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has agreed to participate in our Monday town hall in Detroit. We'll have all of the details of that coming up, but she has agreed to participate in our town hall event with Bernie Sanders.